Hey, Tofu, how you doing?
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too via the cam. I have a question because you were position 4 and then you went position 5 in the previous season. Now you're back to position 4. What's it like being back?
Yeah, it's good fun to play it again. Took me some while to get into it again, but there was like a long break between TI, and there was lots of scrimming and pubs, and yeah, it feels good to play.
Did you feel like you had to relearn a lot or not that much?
Yeah, it's a lot about the mindset you go in on. What do you want to do and when? What do you have to secure and what do you play for? Like especially warding is also really different and rotations.
And there was
But we're doing a really good job as team to get there. Like we talk a lot about the games and look at replays and talk about rotations and what needs to be done.
There was one thing I noticed during the draft with you and Celery, is that you guys pick your heroes last, and especially game 1, it took quite a long time to for us. It looks like you're deciding who's playing Bane and who's playing Undying. I don't know if that is what is being talked about then, or is that just you guys' time to talk strategy about the game?
It's also talked about strategy and for sure some support heroes that can be flexed. But mainly in the draft, it's our coach, Immortal Faith, that is going to do talking. You don't see him on the cam there. Like he's not going to have a cam there, just the players. But there are some openings where we play around with the supports.
All right, I'm here with T-Gov and Synderen, by the way, and they'd also like to pick your brain a bit.
Hi, Tofu. Big fan. So you've obviously been playing with Ace since Hellbear Smashers. Obviously, now you've moved over to Team Tickles. What do you like about Ace? Because you've continued to be his laning partner from safe lane now to off lane. Try and, sell him to the people.
Like he's been quiet for a long time in this competitive scene until this Hellbear Smasher team. It was a bit unfortunate. But for me, that was the first big team I joined, and he's a really big name. And we just played together, do queues, pubs with the team like every day, and we really get along outside of the game as well. And we share a lot of same ideas and plays, and it just clicked with each other. We've been playing for almost a year now, and we just decided whatever happens in the shuffle that we want to stay together. Even if we have to switch lanes or whatever, we just want to stick and see this through.
Who followed who then? Who decided that they wanted to switch lane and who followed who?
Was kind of my idea first, because I wanted to get back on 4. But we were pretty happy with safe lane as well, so I don't know, we were just dependent on the team, on what we get on. Like, we're open to play both.
All right.
We're happy either way.
Do you feel like when you play 4 now, having played 5, and he plays 3, having played 1, do you feel like you have a better understanding of how to counter the enemy safe lane? Because you've played the opposite side of that lane together as well. So you know like more about how they're thinking, what they want to do in the lane, so you can counter them better?
Yeah, for sure. That does help a lot, because you can think as post 5, what would I do? How would I ward? Would I block this camp or not? And you also know what is annoying them. If I block this? Can I contest here? When is it free to rotate? And we also already know the matchups. So it wasn't that hard to swap. It's just different farm priority and how do we move around the map. That's like the most important you need to know. If your rotations don't work, might be hard.
So you said you wanted to get back on 4 instead of 5. Why do you enjoy 4 more? What is it that's more satisfying to you?
Like captaining was also a big thing for me, which I think I grew a lot on as a player, but it's also stressful and actually hard to do. Like for sure, it depends a lot on your team, and your team does support you a lot on that, but you have a lot more pressure on yourself. And as 4, you rotate more, you set up kills, you play around the map, you can dictate the game a bit more. Like, I don't know, it feels easier to play undercover and run around and try to set up stuff.
Okay, thank you.
I have one last question, Tofu. You're a very high-ranked support player. Do you have any advice to other support players trying to climb, the leaderboards, and like how to, gain MMR from that role? Because everyone likes to make excuses from the support role, but clearly, you being top 100, what's your go-to advice that you'd give a maybe slightly lower MMR player?
We had a pub the other day, and I also played with Kyle on some games. And one thing that's really standing out right now is just communication, I think. like especially on support, like we are always these guys, don't give up. No, please don't destroy your items.
Yeah,
But if you
Too
like
real.
click people and you're like, hey, wait this BKB, hey, I rotate for this rune, yo, wait this ultimate. It does help a lot if there's like one voice kind of bringing the guys on the same page.
I am so glad to hear that that is the same across all different difficulties in the
I just wanted to
Dota
hear it again. It's like, yep.
I find myself doing the same things. It's just mute each other if you have to, but focus on the game, please.
No, Owen, don't buy 6 Battlefuries on Void. One is too many.
One's enough.
2
Zero.
rapiers? Is that okay? Yeah.
Tofu, I've actually got one more question. So T lied when he said it was the last
sure.
one.
Sorry.
Because
That's all good.
you got a new organization, or at least new name, into Team Tickles, and I was curious what the plan was, if you were looking for sponsors, if you're planning on boot camping, that kind of stuff. Because obviously we all see the new name in Team Tickles, but we don't really know what's behind that and what the plan is with it.
Yeah, Tickles is just some random made-up name as team that we're playing for now. And we were kind of looking for orgs, but not really getting what we wanted, and didn't have many replies. And we just wanted to play the season now, like focus mainly on ourselves, our plays to become better as team, and then eventually with results that will follow. And also with going on to big names, we'll put pressure on ourselves, which we don't really like. Like we just want to work as team together, grow, become better, and then eventually we'll get into it.
All right, well, that sounds like a great way to take that road, indeed. And already today was, of course, a great start as well by 2-0ing your first opponent. Congratulations on that once again, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us, Tofu.
Yeah, thank you a lot. It was good fun.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Congrats.
Congrats indeed.